So after the extremely bumpy ride of bad news and fan backlash that this movie's had for most of the time leading up to its release, the Fantastic Four movie has finally landed. And for me personally, I wasn't at all excited for this, but then as more and more trailers started rolling out, I changed sides a bit. It actually looked like it could be good. So is this movie actually fantastic? Let's see.
I thought there were 4 of you.
Oh, there we are.
You know what? I don't care. Spoilers from here on out. If you haven't seen the film, you can still stay and watch this, because frankly, I don't think you should go see it. So before I get into all of that, let's talk about the plot. So there are these sciencey people, and they go into another dimension. They get exposed to some radiation or something. Then they get superpowers, then one of them becomes a bad guy, and then the remaining form a superhero team. And then, movie. Let's talk about the things I liked. The very few things. The cast is pretty solid. I'd say Michael B. Jordan stood out to me as the best, but all of them, Teller, Bell, Mara, they all try the best with what they're given. The visual effects, for the most part, are pretty cool, especially The Thing. I will say The Thing looked great in this movie. The end climax, although it feels really tacked on, does look cool. A few of the fight scenes, though some of them completely out of place, are kind of exciting. The dad is pretty good. That Firefly reference was kind of cool. Alright, I'm out of good things to say. Let's talk about what I did not like. I don't know where to start, so I'm more or less gonna speed round these. Firstly, the thing I hated the most, Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is about as accurate to his comic counterpart as Deadpool or the Mandarin were. He's just this underdeveloped, vaguely antisocial computer nerd that you don't care about. Then he dies, and then comes back for about 20 minutes in a weird melted garbage bag suit. He blows up some people's head, he telepathically moves some rock, he makes a portal, and then he's dead. Completely wasted. On a similar-ish note, the seriousness of the film. You're adapting a property called the Fantastic Four, with the members Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, the Human Torch, and the Thing. They fight an evil guy from a country called Latveria who goes by the name of Doctor Doom. That is inherently, by nature, silly. Could a serious version of that work? Probably. But it just didn't here. It tried to make it grounded and dark, and it just didn't work. Sure, maybe the people behind this looked at the original movies and said, well, those are too silly, so we have to go the complete opposite way. But why can't there just be a movie that meets in the middle of these two? I actually don't hate the original, especially after seeing this, because at least, even though it's kind of bad, it's entertaining. This movie also went through a lot of reshoots, and you can totally tell. There are really weird transitions between scenes, and the pacing is completely off. There's a lot of time spent at the start before they get their powers, you know, setting up their characters. Then they get their powers, but then it skips ahead a year, they get back together, and then Doctor Doom shows up for 20 minutes, and then done. It felt like it was all chopped together. In my opinion, there was too much time spent at the beginning before they all got their powers, and then not a lot of interesting stuff after that. The climax, while it's one of the better parts of the movie, was just completely out of nowhere. It also has a really inconsistent tone. First, it starts off kind of like Super 8, or kind of homage to the Goonies, which I guess is what Super 8 was. Then it's a science-buildy space dimension movie with a weird love triangle. Then it's a horror movie all of a sudden, and then it's a superhero action movie. It didn't mesh well at all. The tonal and pacing issues ultimately made this a pretty boring movie. Now, just rapid-fire things I didn't like. It was predictable, especially towards the end. The Thing fighting stuff had been built up in the trailers, and then in the actual movie was shown on a TV in the background, as like news footage or something. The child actors aren't that amazing, though I guess they did their best, so, you know, I don't want to hate on child actors. The voice of Homer Simpson is in this, and he could do better. Same for Matthew Vaughn and Simon Kinberg. Did someone blackmail you into making this? Look, I don't like to hate on movies, because have you seen those credits? A lot of people put hard work into these movies, and it's sort of just unfair to say it's really bad afterwards. But the thing is with this movie, I feel like the main players in charge didn't put a ton of effort into it. Maybe they did, I could be wrong. But if any of the stories about the director showing up trashed and drunk are true, I wouldn't be really surprised. So overall, this film has a few moments. A few. But all in all, it's boring, it takes itself too seriously, it has one of the worst superhero movie villains ever, and it's just not worth your time. So while this kind of hurts to say, I'm gonna give Fantastic Four a 3.5 out of 10. I wouldn't call it the worst superhero movie ever, but when your movie has the same Rotten Tomatoes score as Catwoman, that's not a good sign. So what did you think of Fantastic Four? Based on the box office, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you haven't seen it, but if you have, let me know down below in the comments. Be sure to like this video, check out my Instagram at BHL_Hudson, and subscribe for more videos like the one you just watched. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.